Oh, let's take a deep breath together. We are this month dealing with, in our theme, the call of passion, the call of passion. And the topic for today is Come Dance With Me. But first, let me just remind you that passion is that strong emotion, that enthusiastic feeling that we have about anything or anyone. And so that's what we are talking about and dealing with this month. I've had quite a few people say to me they didn't know what their passion was. They don't know what their passion is. And so I just say to you, stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's what we'll do, is just say, stay tuned. But today we're going to be looking at Come Dance With Me. Come Dance With Me. You know, there's a poem by Hafiz about the same name, Come Dance With Me. Come Dance With Me. And actually the name of the poem is The God Who Only Knows Four Words. The God Who Only Knows Four Words. And the poem goes, every child has known God, not the God of names, not the God of don'ts, not the God who ever did anything weird, but the God who only knows four words and keeps repeating them, saying, come dance with me. Come dance. That's our invitation. Come dance with me. Come dance. Come dance. Just feel that. That is God inviting itself, that part of itself known as you, known as me, to come dance, to come be with me. You know, in the Sufi tradition, the dance is prayer. The whirling dervishes dance their way into union with God. And Hafiz, I don't know if I said that the poem is by Hafiz, and that Hafiz was a 14th century Sufi master. And so that dancing is really a way of praying, a way of moving into union with the divine. And when God is saying, come dance with me, God is inviting each of us, that part of itself, to be in union with itself. That is deep calling unto deep. That is our soul call. And so when we answer the call of our passion, we are accepting God's invitation to dance. When we answer the call of our passion, when we discover what our passion is, when we dare to answer that call, because the call of passion is always to follow me. That's what passion is always saying, follow me. And when we follow that call of the passion, of our passion, then we are accepting the invitation to dance. We're accepting an invitation to dance, and all we have to do is come home to the divine, come home to that power and that presence within us that is calling unto us always, calling unto us always. Ernest Holmes says it another way. He says, know that there is an intelligence to which we may come, for guidance, for direction, for inspiration, a power responding to us, a presence pressing against us, and inspiration animating us, a light flowing through, an inspiration flowing through us, and a light within us. And that is the essence of being, the eternal God, the everlasting presence, the Father. And it is the Father that is calling unto us. It is the Father that is seeking us, as the reading says. It is the Father that is seeking us always. That is seeking us, because there's, as Holmes says, that there's that divine urge that is always seeking expression. And the only way that it can express is through each one of us. The only way it can express is through each one of us. And that's our purpose for being here, is to be those places and spaces through which it can express, to be those places and spaces through which the fullness and the allness of God can be expressed in its entirety, according to our own uniqueness, according to our own consciousness. And so the more we say yes to the dance, the more we deepen in consciousness, the more we move into that place of oneness with the all that is. The more we move into that place of unification with the all that is. And so I'm inviting you, it doesn't matter if you don't know what your passion is. It doesn't matter if you don't know what your passion is. Just hang on. Just be open. Just be willing to say yes to it. It doesn't really matter. Just be open. Just be open and be available to it. And so the way that we do that, I'm gonna give you the three ways that I usually give you, three ways of doing things. Is the first one is to accept the invitation to dance. Accept the invitation to dance. Say yes to the invitation to dance. Step into the arms of the divine and say yes to that invitation to dance. Open up, and really, as you do that, as you say yes to the dance, then you begin to discover what your passion is. You begin to discover what it is that really floats your boat, as I said. You begin to discover what really sets your heart afire. You begin to discover what you really love, what you really have to do, which is what passion is all about, what you have to do. And so I'm inviting you to say yes to the dance. Accept the invitation to 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 dance. And that's what I really want us to be so aware of. That is so important for us to accept, because when we're not accepting it, then we're closed. When we're not accepting it, then we're not open. When we're not accepting it, then there's no way that we can possibly do the dance. No way that we can possibly move into union. No way that we can possibly answer the call of our passion or even discover our passion if we're not accepting the invitation to dance. When we're accepting the invitation to dance, we're accepting the invitation to live, to live life fully, to live life completely. That's what we're doing when we're accepting that invitation to dance. So I'm saying yes, yes, yes to the dance. That's what I'm inviting you to say, yes, yes, yes to the dance. And then the second thing is to become as a child. As the poem says, every child has known God. And you know, as children, we did. There weren't those things that blocked us. There weren't those things of the world. We didn't know the ways of the world and all the things that go on and all the things that cover up our desires and our awareness of who we really are. Because children know who they really are. Children know. Think about the young children in your mind, in your life. There may be children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews or students or whatever the case may be, children that you encounter, how free they are. How unencumbered they are by the worries of the world, the concerns of the world. How unencumbered they are by fear and doubt and anxiety and the what ifs and all that stuff. And so every child has known God. And so become as a child, being willing to say yes, being willing to explore, being willing to do something different, being willing to do something that you've never done before, just being wide-eyed and excited about the opportunity to dance with the divine, about the opportunity to discover your passion, about the opportunity to do something you love. Think back on being a child. What was it that you really loved to do as a child? What was it that you really loved to do as a child? What was it that you just enjoyed more than anything else? For some reason, I'm reminded that when I was a child, one thing I loved to do was to climb trees. Now, I don't think that's my passion, but it was my passion then. It was my passion then. We had a big oak tree in our front yard. And then we had another tree. I don't think it was an oak, but it was another tree that had low branches on it. I loved to climb that tree. And my mother threatened my life every day because I would be in that tree when she would come home from school in the evenings, and I would have gotten home earlier and I would have climbed the tree. And she would be really upset with me being all the way up to the top and then trying to scramble my way down. But that's something I love to do. That's something I love to do. Really love to do it. And I just thought about that. I love to climb trees. And what I'm asking you, what was it that you really loved to do as a child? What was it that you really loved to do? And what was it that someone told you that you couldn't do or that you shouldn't do? And if you could do that today, if you could try it today, would you do it? If you thought you could do it without getting hurt or without some untoward thing happening, would you do that? Then think about that. Become as a child. Be as excited about that. Be as excited about that about something in your life today as you were about whatever that was then. If you can't do it now, if it's not something that you can try now, what is it that you're that kind of excited about? Become as a child and think about that. Become as a child and feel that. Feel that enthusiasm, feel that excitement, feel that I can do anything feeling. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter if somebody gets upset about it, so long as it's not taking anything from somebody else or hurting someone else in the process. Then what is it that really, really spoke to your heart as a child? What really brought joy into your life? And think about that thing now. And does that same thing bring joy into your life now? Or what is it that brings that kind of joy into your life now? And you have to step back into that consciousness of the child to experience that kind of joy. It may be something different than your childhood, but whatever it is, move into that feeling of the joy that you had as a child when you got to do that thing. That thing that you really wanted to do so desperately. Think about that. Think about that. Become that child. And as you become that child and move into the consciousness of that child, that's when you're beginning, after you have accepted the invitation to dance, that's when you're beginning the first steps of the dance. That's when you're beginning the first steps of the dance. The invitation is, come dance with me. Come dance. And when you're saying yes to whatever it is that brings you joy, whatever it is that brings you a sense of fulfillment, a sense of completion, a sense of aliveness, whatever that is, that's when we are really getting into that place of the dance. We're getting into that energy of the dance, that consciousness of the dance. And that's where we want to be, because that's what children do. Think about children. Think about what I'm having a sense of right now is how little girls like to dance with their fathers or their big brothers or whoever that male figure was in their life, that adult figure. Little girls like to dance with them. Sometimes they'd have to stand on their feet and dance on the feet of the adult to dance. But just that idea of being in union, being in that place of oneness, being in that place of joy, being in that place of love, being in that place of fulfillment, being in that place of openness, being in that place of, yes, possibility. Everything's possible when we're in that place of the dance and when we're in that place of the consciousness of the child. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do. Become the child. Become the child again, to discover what it is that you really love doing, what it is that really brings you joy, what it is that really, really, really makes you really happy and content. And then dance with it, be in that place of the dance with spirit. And then the third thing that I will invite you to do is to lean into the arms of your divine dance partner and trust. Lean into the arms of your divine dance partner and trust. Lean into the arms of your divine dance partner. It doesn't matter if you don't know the steps. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to dance. It doesn't matter any of that. None of that matters. If when we step into the arms of our dance partner and allow that dance partner to lead, then we're okay. Everything's okay. All the steps just kind of fall into place. When we aren't trying to lead, when we aren't trying to control, when we aren't trying to hold on, when we aren't trying to hold back, when we accept the invitation to come dance, we throw caution to the wind. When we accept the invitation to come dance, we throw fear to the wind. When we accept the invitation to come dance, we let go of anxiety, we let go of shame, we let go of shyness, we let go of all that stuff. What's somebody going to think? What's somebody going to say? We let all that go. And we just move into that place of oneness with our dance partner. Lean into that place of oneness with our dance partner. And what we do when fear comes up, when anxiety comes up, when doubt comes up, when the what ifs comes up, or when the I can'ts come up, when all that stuff comes up, when things start to go wrong, when things start to go in a way we in our lives, in our everyday lives, that we really weren't expecting, or were expecting the things that make it seem pretty tough for us. When the going gets rough, lean into the arms of our dance partner and allow the dance partner to pull us closer. Allow our dance partner to pull us closer, and then lean on our dance partner. Because our dance partner, God, knows all the steps. God knows all the steps. We don't have to know anything. We can have 2 left feet. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. God knows all the steps. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do. Just lean into the arms of your dance partner and trust. And all this sounds good, but unless we are doing those things that allow us to be in that consciousness of trusting, unless we are really engaging in our spiritual practice, unless we are really doing those things that bring us closer in consciousness, that heals our sense of separation from our source, that heals our sense of separation from God, that heals our sense of separation from whatever it is we'd like to do, heals our sense of separation from our courage, whatever it is, heals our sense of separation from our health, heals our sense of separation from love, or from forgiveness, or from balance, or from perfect health, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. When we get into that consciousness, then we feel separate. But when we continue our spiritual practice, when we continue our prayer work, when we continue our meditation, when we continue whatever our spiritual practice may be, when we continue reading and journaling and yoga, or whatever it is we do as a part of our spiritual practice, all those things that help us to practice the presence of God, all of those things that we engage in to help us to move more and more and more into oneness with the all that is, that help us to be in that place of oneness more than we are in that place of a sense of separation. And that happens with us constantly practicing. And what we are practicing is the presence of God. We are practicing the presence of God. And we get to practice the presence of God by spending time in the presence of God, conscious time, conscious, deliberate time. And as we do this, then we come more into the knowingness that God really is all there is, that God really is my very life, that God really is that from which I can never be separate, that God really is always right here, right now, right where I am, guiding me, directing me, showing me the way. And yes, I'm willing to step into this dance. I'm willing to come dance. I'm willing to answer that call to dance, even though I may be afraid, even though the path may not seem, I can't see the path that's laid out before me, even though my vision is cloudy, even though I don't know the steps, even though whatever the case may be, even though I've gotten to be this age, even though I don't have any money, even though I don't feel well, even though I'm feeling lonely, even though I don't know enough, even though whatever the case may be, whatever those things are that makes us shut down, whatever those things are that makes us feel alone, whatever those things are that make us feel separate, whatever those things are that make us feel like we're not enough, whatever those things are that make us feel like we can't do it, lean into the arms of your dance partner. Lean into the arms of your dance partner. And every time you sit in meditation, every time you open yourself up to prayer, every time you do spiritual mind treatment, every time you engage in some inspirational reading or in some type of spiritual practice, every time we are leaning into our dance partner and allowing our dance partner to draw us closer. Allowing our dance partner to draw us closer. And as we are drawn closer, we are being shown the steps, every step of the way. We're being shown the steps all along the way. And it doesn't matter if we stumble. It doesn't matter what happens as we go along. We are being shown the steps. And so I'm inviting you to trust the divine, trust your dance partner. Doesn't matter if you step on his toes every now and then. Doesn't matter what happens. God knows all the steps. God knows the way. And God is constantly repeating the four words that God knows. Come dance with me. Come dance with me. Come dance with me. Come dance. And our only response to that has to be yes. 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 An unconditional yes. So let's just take a deep breath together. And under the exhalation, just say yes. Take another deep breath together. And on each deep breath, you hear the invitation, come dance. And on the exhalation, say yes. On the inhale, just hear the invitation, come dance. Exhale, yes. Let this be your practice this week. Inhale, come dance. Exhale, yes. 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 So let's take this deep yes into prayer in this moment. This deep yes to that one power and that one presence and that one life and that one mind and that one breath, that one partner, that only partner that I choose to call God. But by any name, it is a source of our being. It is our divine dance partner, our divine life partner, that from which we can never be separate, that from which we can never depart, that which is always with us, this eternal power, this eternal presence that is my very life. It is the life of each of us here this day. It is the source of our being. And it is constantly calling unto us. It is constantly seeking us. It is constantly seeking expression in and through and as each one of us. For it is us. And so it is from this place of awareness, of this oneness with God, that I speak this word for each of us this day. Speaking a word of yes to the divine dance. Yes to the divine dance. Yes to oneness. Yes to our union with the all that is. And when we say yes, all things are made new. All things are made new. There's healing in the body temple. There's healing in our bodies of affairs. There's healing in our relationships. There's peace and there's harmony. And there's joy and there's forgiveness. And there's comfort for the brokenhearted. And there's abundance and there's prosperity. There, all the qualities of God become our experience when we are in oneness with it. And that's what I'm speaking the word for each of us for this day, that we experience each and all the allness and the fullness of God in every aspect of our lives, in every aspect of our beingness. When we say yes to this divine dance, we are at one with it. And healing happens everywhere and in every situation and in every circumstance. But we know that the power and the presence of God is in every situation, in every circumstance, in the midst of everything, despite any appearances. To the contrary, despite any appearances, whatever they may be, the truth is that God is in the midst of everything, and healing is happening everywhere. That wholeness is revealing itself everywhere, in every life. And so as I open this circle of prayer, I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud. You may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each and every person is, right in the midst of every circumstance, every situation. This word goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that God is right where they are, right in the midst of everything. This word of prayer goes out to our government officials, just knowing that that God is in the midst of everything, all the decision making, all the choices, that the choices and decisions are being made for the highest and best for all, that there's unity everywhere. Unity abounds, peace abounds, love abounds, light abounds. No matter what the appearance, God is in the midst, and divine right action is taking place everywhere. Everywhere. Divine right action is taking place everywhere, in every life, in every situation, in every circumstance. And so I simply say, thank you, Father, Mother, God, for the perfect manifestation of this word being spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for wholeness that is revealing itself in every situation, in every circumstance, in every life. I know indeed that all is well. For I know indeed that all is God. And that's all I ever need to know, that all is God. Thank you. And so it is.